Thank you all for coming. We're going to talk about the budget that just passed for 2020 and 2021. You know, there are priorities in budgets, and nothing's more important than the priority being the truth. And the truth is that this budget is $450 million plus in the red. It talks about a deal with the state union employees that is simply non-existent. There is no deal. There's no memorandum. There's no understanding. There is nothing. This governor told the legislators, this governor told the people of the state of Connecticut when he was running and after he was elected, he was going to bring the state employees to the table. And then he sticks in to the budget $450 million savings as if it exists. And it doesn't. And there's no contingency in this budget for what if he does not get that deal. So right now, this budget's out of whack. And what we do know is that Dan Livingston on June 4th said, "We have indicated our willingness to consider win-win changes." That's prospective. We are indicating a willingness. In February of 20, at least he argued, Dan Livingston did, when the issue of givebacks came up, he said, we're willing to continue to work with. Even the February 20th was more strong than the June 4th statement, but neither statement indicates any understanding of a deal. And without a deal, you have a budget deficit of numbers which make this budget unbalanced and I would argue unconstitutional. The Democratic leaders also had an obligation. They had an obligation to see the truth. They had an obligation to determine whether or not these union savings were real or not real. I don't know what they told their caucus. It's not my caucus, so I don't know what they told their caucus. But what was voted on was a budget that had a shortfall, still has a shortfall, and someone, some agency, some social service, someone's going to pay for that deficit. Now, I know why we were not included in the meetings. It always was a perplexing problem in my mind. Why wouldn't the governor or the Democrats have us in the meeting? And I think the answer's very simple. They know we would have asked, show me the money. Show me where the savings are. Show me how you got $450 million worth of savings. Where are the documents? But they did this budget in the dark. Because that's the only way this budget could ever pass, is in the dark of night, is when nobody is looking, negotiations in the back room, bringing it to the table, having a shortfall, and not giving anybody the opportunity to know the real numbers. As I said, under Section 18A of Connecticut General Statutes, or the Constitution, I should say, this budget is out of balance and is unconstitutional. Period. Unconstitutional, period. This governor has an obligation to the state of Connecticut and to the people for which he governs. And that obligation means this governor needs to veto this budget because he cannot, under operation of law, under the Constitution of the state of Connecticut, sign a budget which is not constitutional. And he should veto it and bring us back, and we should have a legitimate conversation on how we're going to balance the budget in the state of Connecticut. That's our message to the governor. If there are any questions.